Hello, this is Zeus of Toy Olympus, and in this video, let's take a look at Hasbro's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Retro Morphin figures. Before we begin the video, let's take a brief moment to remember Jason David Frank, who played Tommy Oliver in MMPR, whose figure appears in this review. His recent passing shocked the world, and personally, knowing the reason breaks my heart. I know I'm just a fan of the show, but it was that heartbreaking. His contributions to pop culture are undeniable. He had a thriving career by making some appearances in other media. He even had a cameo in the 2017 Power Rangers movie. With all that being said, JDF, you were a legend. Thank you for being the best Power Ranger. And may you rest in power. Now, let's go back to the video. This line of 5-inch figures is inspired by the Power Rangers Automorphin figures in the 90s. Known for their flip head feature.
What was that?
Sorry. Known for their flip head play feature that allows you to change their heads in one press of a switch, they were a hit among kids at the time of their release. Actually, when I was a kid, this kind of figure sparked my love for action figures and toys in general. I remember a kid in our neighborhood who had the whole set of 6 Rangers. I wanted to have them, but unfortunately, I didn't ask my parents because they would surely say
No, unacceptable.
So I was left wishing. But not anymore. Earlier this year, I was able to grab the first 6 Rangers, and oh boy am I excited to talk about them. Although this line of figures are built a little bit differently from the original ones, this is still a great find for me as a fan of the show, since like ever. So far, this Retro Morphin figures line has 2 waves released in 2021. The first wave includes the red, black, blue, and pink Rangers. The second wave includes the yellow and the green Rangers. This wave also has the White Ranger, the Ranger Slayer from the comics, and Ninjor. I didn't get the latter 3 at all, since for me, the White Ranger belongs to a different team, Ninjor is nowhere to be found where I am, and the Slayer?
I don't know.
Die kenne ich nicht.
Will they release more waves from this line though? That remains to be seen. All of them have the same articulations and number of accessories, so I'll just lump them all together in this review. Each figure comes with the standard issue Blade Blaster in gun mode and the Ranger's individual weapon, except for the Green Ranger who also comes with his dragon armor. For the play feature, this is how it works. Each figure has 2 heads, the civilian head and the helmet. You need to press a button to open the chest, so a spring would flip the head and then the other head pops out before you close the chest again by releasing the switch. Now here are the figures. First of all, here's the Red Ranger, Jason. He's the leader of the team who controls the Tyrannosaurus Dinozord. Here's his civilian head and his helmet. He comes with a Blade Blaster and Power Sword. Next is the Black Ranger, Zack. He's the prankster who is second in command at the start of the series and controls the Mammoth Dinozord. Here's his civilian head and his helmet. Here's his power axe. The third one is the Blue Ranger, Billy. He's the brains of the team. Not only is he an inventor, but he also controls the Triceratops Dinozord. Here's his civilian head and his helmet. Here's his power lance. The fourth member is the Yellow Ranger, Trini. She's a smart and athletic girl who controls the saber-toothed tiger Dinozord. Here's her civilian head and her helmet. Here's her power daggers. Completing the first 5 is the Pink Ranger, Kimberly. The girl with gymnastic abilities, she controls the pterodactyl dinosaur. Here's her civilian head and her helmet. Here's her power bow. Last but certainly not the least is the Green Ranger, Tommy. Considered as the strongest Power Ranger, he became the 6th Ranger after being the Core 5's enemy under Rita Repulsa's control for a few episodes. He is the longest serving Ranger since he had other Ranger forms, aside from this, after the first season. He controls the Dragon Zord, and can summon it by blowing his Dragon Dagger like a flute with his helmet on, which, looking back, looks kinda weird, but I digress. Here's his civilian head and his helmet. He comes with a Blade Blaster, his Dragon Shield, and of course, his Dragon Dagger. All 5 weapons can form the Power Blaster. You can replicate their formation when doing their finisher move, but with some limitations due to their articulations. Speaking of, sadly, each figure only has 8 points of articulation. It's understandable since it's inspired by the look of the Morphin figures back in the day. For the articulations, we have shoulder hinge and swivel, elbow hinge and swivel, hip hinge that go up to here, hip swivel that go up to here, and knee hinge and swivel joints. That's it. Now, here are my final thoughts. Obviously, the figure's proportions are unrealistic. So, if you're after realistic sculpts, then Hasbro's Lightning Collection 6-inch figures are the better choice for you. If you find old school 90s figures charming enough, you'll surely appreciate them for what they are. As a Power Ranger and Tokusatsu nerd, this set of figures is a great find for me and they weren't that expensive. Having these figures feels like owning the retro figures from the 90s that I wanted to have. The only difference is, I didn't have to spend more for the original ones. Anyway, that's it. What do you think about these figures? Let me know in the comments below. Oh, and before I go, if you like my content and would like to see more, consider clicking like and subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate any support I could get so that I can continue making content like this. I have a lot more toys to collect and discuss, so stay tuned for them. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.